Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope this finds you well. Today is the day of Mother Earth, the day of Pachamama. Mostly in the Andean cultures, today is celebrated the um, um, everything that Earth does for us. So usually we give some gift offers to Mother Earth in this day. So whoever wants to make an offering to put some food, some gifts for Mother Earth on the ground, you are welcome. And there are for sure thousands of people celebrating today, the day of Pachamama. So today is the day out of time related to the element of ether. I remind you that every day I am uh, rehearsing the concept of why we are celebrating these days out of time. Let's remember that these days out of time, we are celebrating them because we are following a specific calendar. Because the Earth is rounded and we give a turn in an elliptical shape around the sun, it's impossible for us to determine a specific moment where the year begins and the year ends. The day ends and the day begins. It's impossible to determine that because there's no beginning point. Um, so that's why, depending on the culture, we started to choose some moments, astrological moments that could show us where to count the days or when to start to make a counting. So that's why, depending on the perception of each culture, the days will be different. Four of the times that most of the ancient cultures used to use in order to determine the beginning and the end of a year are the solstice and equinoxes. Remember, an equinox is equilibrium. Okay, that's the word. So equinox is the moment when the earth is equilibrated according to the sun. So we see the same perception of the sun in both hemispheres. That's the equinox, is equilibrium. Okay, and the solstice. The solstice means the sun is staying. So solstice is the moment when you see the sun rising up in the same precise moment, and it looks like it's still all the time, and then it moves backwards or forwards according to the perception of where you live. So those days are called solstice because the sun is like still in the same place and then starts to move again. Um, so that's why these are the four moments in the year that can be taken as points of beginning or points of end. Some other cultures, we used to take Sirius or Arcturus as a moment of beginning. But we all choose Sirius because it's the brightest star in the sky. It's the brightest one, the closest ones to us, and also is a star that can be seen from the south and the north because it's a tropical star. Wherever you are, you can see that star appearing and disappearing every 6 months. When Sirius disappears in the horizon, it means that something is ending. When it appears, it's something starting. That's why it's the beginning of the year. But that star appears in different days according to the latitude. So depending on the latitude you live, you will start the year before or after. Okay, so that's the problem of living in a giant ball. Because the year can start in any moment according to when the star appears in which latitude, we have to pick a specific latitude related to our year, our path of consciousness. So because all the information is being guided by the Egyptian territory and Atlantean territory, this means that we are going to work with the year starting in August 4th, which is the 31 and 33 latitude north, related to Egypt and the Mediterranean, okay? Territories of the Atlantean civilization that had spread and created the pyramids. So because our whole path was in Egypt, in the pyramids, we took the beginning of our conscious year related to the territory of the pyramids, okay? That's why we begin the year August 4th. Once we have the physical sphere, that we understand the physical sphere, we can also understand that we have an etherical one, a subtle sphere that is called time. From that moment, August 4th and on, we have 360 days. And these 360 days are the 360 degrees of the sphere. We have the physical 360 degrees and the subtle related to time 360 degrees, which we call days. So 360 days of the year. That whole year will give us 12 months of 30 days each. After you did the whole 360 degrees of path, you will find out that in this planet we have 5 days more, kind of 5 days. Okay, these 5 days are sometimes 4, sometimes 5. They are shorter or larger because nobody exactly know how they work. So the ancient one decided that those days are out of time. And these days out of time are perfect, so we could create an intention for the new cycle. Okay, so it's a celebration time. So this is why from the year of consciousness that we took together, we are starting to celebrate every year the 5 days out of time. Okay, so we put the intention for the projects and things to come. How do we integrate? What are we doing? How do we celebrate these 5 days? By integrating the information of the whole year. Okay, we put that information together into the 5 elements that encode the whole year: fire, earth, ether, water, and air. So today is a weird day because this day, ether, is not related to any of the information of the month, but it is the seed of the information of each month. So the ether is basically the essence of each one of the topics, each one of the concepts that we have been working with during the whole time, during the whole year. So in order to understand this, let's remember what is ether. Let's remember what is ether. Ether comes from the word aether, that is an alcohol. It's like a kind of an alcohol that was used a few centuries ago to take the essence of something, like for example, to make a perfume. Okay, so you put the flowers in the aether and you take the essence of the plant, so you have the perfume of the flower. So people use this aether as a way to take the essence of the things, whatever. So with the time, the name of that alcohol became a way in which we could say essence of something. So we could describe the essence of a flower by saying the ether of the flower. So when we say the ether, it's like saying the perfume of this specific flower. Okay, so with the time, we started to use ether as a way to describe the essence of things. Pasamos entonces a lo filosófico, ¿sí? Cuando vamos a lo filosófico, el éter empieza a describir eso que no se ve, que solo se puede sentir, relacionado al espíritu, al alma, a la emoción. So once we got much more philosophical, the word ether started to describe the essence of people, of things that you cannot touch, but you can just feel, like a soul, an emotion, the spirit itself. So with the time, the word ether, that alcohol, uh, became the became the way in which we could explain the essence of things, um, the the things that make possible for things to exist, but you cannot feel it. You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. It's just something that you can just perceive. Mm? So the ether always existed as a concept, even if the name is new, relatively new. The concept of ether came from alchemy in history, and it was called the quintessence. Quintessence means the fifth essence. Okay, the quintessence is basically we had four essences that created everything: earth, fire, water, and air. The four main. And people in the ancient times, they call the quintessence, the fifth essence, to that thing that you cannot see, you cannot perceive, but that allows the other four to manifest, to exist. Okay, so that's the quintessence. That's the fifth essence that today we call the ether, because it takes the perfume of things. So when we are talking about ether, it's basically the things that give meaning, sense to the things. So when we talk about ethereal reality, when we talk about the ether, it's not something that is so subtle that you cannot touch it and it's outside, something from the spiritual realm. Actually, we are talking about the essence that allows me to exist. So it's basically the main essence that gives meaning and movement to the atoms, to the tiny particles of existence. So it's because of ether that my body exists. It's not something outside that is floating around and we cannot touch or perceive. It's basically what makes us exist, what makes us be. If we take the image of the tree of life, a tree that contains the whole entire universe, we can understand that the essence of the whole tree is encoded in the seed. So the tiny seed has the whole potential to become the entire tree. This is why we can relate the ether with the seed of creation. Also, as you might see, we relate the ether with the octahedron, and whoever is following the Platonic geometry, sacred geometry, usually this structure is related to air. But we are following the Atlantean tradition that says that the ether is basically the seed, and the octahedron is the seed encoded inside the whole structure of geometry. So if we put together all the structure of geometry, we find the octahedron in the core, not outside. So that's why for the perception of the Atlantean tradition, the ether is the octahedron. Okay, and this is related with the very logical order in perception of things. For the Atlantean tradition, the ether is not something that is spread in the skies. Ether is basically that essence that is so tiny that is within and makes us exist, to be. This perception is related to, for the Atlanteans, the essence is inside, the essence of things is within the core of the structure. But from the point of view of Greek, the essence is outside, is in the skies, in the drawings of the stars. Okay, so that's why the octahedron, which is in the core, for the Atlanteans is the essence, and for the Greek is outside, which is like the icosahedron, okay, outside, is the last of the structures holding everything, because they related with the skies. So this is kind of the explanation of why the octahedron is related with the ether in the Atlantean tradition, and why for the Greeks is the outer aspect, which is the dodecahedron. So that's why today in the alignment, what we are going to do is to bring all this concept of the universe, this essence around the universe, and to find it out within ourselves and anchor that in the essence that we have in our course. So that's why today is the day in the middle of the 5 days, because we are going to bring all information of the 360 days towards us becoming this tree of life that I explained, and going back to the seed which is inside. So before we start with alignment, I want to share with you these three things that I am saying every day, because I am willing to manifest and to sow these concepts for the next year to come. So the first thing to say is, remember that those who subscribe for the fire group before this August 4th, so everyone who has been subscribed and those who are subscribing right now for the fire group in our event in Argentina this November, you will be able to participate in the Cosmovision, in the Atlantean Cosmovision workshop that I will give the day August 13th. Okay, so soon. So the second thing that I wanted to remind you all is that those who has subscribed for Egypt, that went physically to Egypt, and those who will come physically to Argentina, either of both or both at the same or both. If you have been here in Egypt and will be in Argentina, both physically or just in Egypt or just in Argentina, and you are part of fire and water group, only those fire or water group. So you will participate of the RCN capacitation that we will give in 2023. Okay, so so everyone who has gone to those two events and that have had the most intense activities in those events will be part of this RCN capacitation for 2023. Okay, so that's the second thing. The third thing that I want to share with all of you, and much more today because it's ether and we want to manifest this seed, is that we are trying to put in order the idea of a university. We are creating, manifesting the university called Ontos. So the Ontos University will start apparently in 2024, if everything goes fine. And the idea of this university is to put together all the contents that we have been talking about in 2020 and 2021 in the IM path. So not only me teaching, but a lot of people teaching many topics that has been related to the content of the IM. So you can have it all in order and be able to prepare yourself to also work with others and to share with others the information. So we can capacitate more people into be aware and to work for ontocracy in the future. So the idea of this university is to prepare all of us into the concepts of ontocracy, and to prepare a lot of contents so we could work for a system in the future related to ontocracy. The other thing that I wanted to share related to this is that we are going to name all those who have gone physically to Egypt and Argentina of the four groups, water, air, fire, and earth. The four groups will be named seed founders of this university. Okay, so the idea is for everyone to be named as a part of those who have made possible for us to work in all this, to manifest all this. So we want to make you part of this. So you will become the seed founders, and your name will be there as a founder, and you will have a membership to go some courses in the university. Okay, so uh, that's something that I wanted to share with all of you. So, and also I have to thank you all, because without your presence, without all the people that is going physically to the event, we wouldn't be able to work and do and make this possible. Okay, so thank you very much to all of you. So I know there are many people asking why Ether is not included into this, and the reason is very simple. We need money to do this because we have like 20 people working. We have an infrastructure to work with. We dedicate all time to do all this. So we don't work of other things and then we do this in our free time. We do full time these things. So it's because of the people that assist to the events, that pays for the events, those who help us to maintain all this. That's why we are naming them the seed founders, because they are putting their energy, the physical energy, in order for us to be able to do this. And of course, Ether is free, not free in money, free online. So we have no clue who are the people that are watching what we are doing in the gathering. So we don't have a specific following of who they are. We just know numbers. Okay. So that's why it's difficult to name all the people that are in Ether group. But of course, when the university is ready, you will Ether group will be able to access online to everything. But we have to work on this. Let's begin with the alignment. La Guille.
Hola Mati, hola a todos, hello everyone.
So remember that we will put the intention to connect with the ether, which is the essence of things. Look for a comfortable position. We concentrate in our breathings and softly we close our eyes. I become aware of each breath, the air entering my lungs. I become aware of the oxygen in my lungs coming in to my body through the water of my blood. I become aware of how this oxygen nourish with energy my cells, my physical body. I take a deep breath and become aware how this energy activates the phosphorus in my DNA chain, igniting the inner fire. Everything just with a simple breath. The air in my lungs, the water in my veins, my blood, the earth in my cells, the fire in my DNA. The four elements in me united in just one breathing. I become aware that all the spiritual realm is encoded in just this action. I am a spirit that inspires, then expires. And continue by respiring. To be a spirit is to respirate once and again. As I breathe the light and the air, I start to feel how the entire universe connects to me through respiration. Every atom in this universe enters me and exits me. The same air I have in my lungs is the same air that fills the atmospheres of this world. When I breathe the air of the entire world. The oxygen flowing in my blood through my veins is the same oxygen that fills up every river, sea, and ocean, lake, and lagoon. Every cell in my body is the physical aspect, the fractal of every tree, rock, crystal, and animal in this world. And every living being moves, transforms itself, evolves due to the fire that lives in the double helix, the Kundalini, that ignites inside of every living being, of every one of my cells. I am just another fruit, another seed in this huge tree, this huge net that is connected to the entire existence. And I recognize that the planet Earth is a cell inside the body of the galaxy. And the galaxy is a cell in the body of the universe. And the universe is a cell in the body of the cosmos. Take a deep breath. Very softly, smooth. Start to move your hands like caress in the air. Feel every movement. As you move your hands, become aware that while you move your cells, you are moving the world, the galaxy, and the universe. Take a deep breath and open yourself to receive the essence of the entire cosmos, perceiving the colors, the fragrance, the perfumes of each existence. This feeling, this essence, is the one that allowed a galaxy to turn into a cell, a sun to become a flower, a seed to become a world. Is the essence that allows everything to evolve and transform and become anything. Recognize then that the cosmos lives in you. The divine consciousness manifests my body. This is the essence of the quintessence, the ability to transform into anything, to become, to live the dream. I am a seed of the cosmic tree with the inner potential of becoming myself a universe. I am the 360 degrees of the sphere. I am the core and the crust. I am heaven and earth. I am the light and the shadows. I am the north and the south. I am the water and the earth. I am the fire and the air. I am feminine and masculine. I am life and death. I am the eternal and the finite. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am, I, and am. I am ether. Take a deep breath. Softly, we start to stretch the body, to move, to caress each part of the body, coming back here and now, yawning. And we open our eyes and we are ready. Thank you, everybody, for another day. Gracias, Guille, por la música. Thank you. And see you tomorrow to integrate the energy of the water.